From a strictly biologic standpoint, are human beings supposed to be vegetarians or are we designed for eating meat? Let's get into it. Some people believe that humans are anatomically and physiologically best suited to be herbivores. Other people make arguments that we are perfectly capable and well adapted to including meat in our diets. I'll provide some arguments from both sides. Let me know in the comments below which side you favor. First, let's get into arguments that human beings are best suited to be vegetarians. So number one, our jaws. Carnivores like lions, wolves, and T-Rexes have jaws that only move up and down. This requires them to tear chunks of flesh from their prey and then swallow these chunks whole without a whole lot of chewing. Humans, on the other hand, have jaws that move up and down and also side to side. This grinding motion allows us to chew our food and grind up fibrous food like fruits and vegetables. In this way, our jaws are really more similar to those of herbivores like cows and horses than they are to strict carnivores like tigers and snakes. Next, we have our teeth. Most of our teeth are flat like herbivore teeth. Now, we do have sharp canines, but unless you're Count Dracula, these are pretty useless at tearing flesh. Don't believe me? Try chasing down an antelope and sinking your teeth into its side. It won't go well. But a lion, on the other hand, could cause some serious damage doing this. Moving on, let's talk intestines. Human intestines are much longer than carnivore intestines, allowing plant material ample time to break down. In contrast to this, animals who hunt for food have short intestinal tracts, allowing meat to pass and be digested quickly, reducing the risk of food poisoning. Finally, one last argument that human beings are best suited to be vegetarians is that, generally speaking, we only like eating meat when it's processed in some way. To give you an example, I ate a steak at Black Angus last night. It was delicious, but it was cooked, heavily seasoned, and cut up into a small chunk that was unrecognizable as the original animal it came from, namely cattle. I think technically steer, right? Most steaks, at least in the US, are male cattle that have been neutered or castrated, and so they're called steers, not bulls. But I don't know. Anyway, don't quote me on that. But let's say instead of a juicy steak fillet on a plate in a restaurant, we were to see a dead animal on the ground with its flesh hanging out. Most of us would be repulsed by this sight. We certainly wouldn't think, yum, it's time for dinner. In contrast, a true carnivore like a cat relishes the sight of raw flesh. So there you go. There's some arguments to try to give reasons why human beings might be better suited to be vegetarians. But now, on to some arguments in favor of including meat in our diets. Number one, nutrition. So meat is loaded with essential nutrients. It's not hard to see why. After all, when we eat meat, we're consuming material that is not that different from the material that makes up our own muscles and organs. So the raw building blocks our bodies need are present and readily available in meat. Number two, vitamins, in particular vitamin B12. Humans need B12 for DNA synthesis, fatty acid metabolism, and normal functioning of the nervous system. Plants, on the other hand, do not need B12. Their biochemistry is not dependent on this vitamin, so they don't have it. For this reason, most people in the world obtain their B12 from animal sources. Technically, a strictly vegan diet could result in B12 deficiency, but this is pretty easy to get around with vitamin B12 supplements. The next argument is that from an anthropological standpoint, humans from all over the world have been eating meat and have been doing so for tens of thousands of years. So who are we to say all of a sudden that we're really supposed to be vegetarians? Okay, so those are some arguments that humans are better served to include animal products in our diets. So now that I've alluded to both sides of the story here, I'll give you my take. So I grew up in a place called Loma Linda, California. So this is a community that is very heavily influenced by Seventh-day Adventism. This is a type of Christianity that really focuses on health. They're all about no alcohol, no smoking, no caffeine even, and they really promote a vegetarian diet. As a result of this, if you go to the cafeteria at the local university, you won't see any meat. Everything is all vegetarian. So I grew up hearing a lot of the arguments that I presented in the first part of this video. And since in my family we eat meat, I kind of felt like I was picked on a little bit. Like kids would say, ew, this guy's unclean, look at him eating his meat. So I definitely grew up hearing a lot of the arguments in favor of a vegetarian diet. That being said, I can tell you now from working in the healthcare profession, you can definitely incorporate animal products into your diet healthily. In particular, lean meats like chicken breast or fish can be incorporated into a healthy diet. So if you ask me, I would say that human beings are not really herbivores or carnivores, but rather omnivores. We can eat a wide variety of diets, and there's really no one-size-fits-all diet that's perfect for everybody. Okay, thanks for checking out this video. If you like healthcare related content like this, feel free to hit the subscribe button there or check out another video right here, and I'll see you guys next time.